Starfield. It seems like that's what the only thing that's being talked about on Twitter these days is Starfield. When's Starfield coming out? Are we going to get it anytime soon? And I think that because it is one of the most anticipated games on the Xbox brand right now, there's a lot of spotlight going on it. Rightfully so. You know, last year we were supposed to get this game. It was supposed to be out in November, and it got pushed back to 2023. And I think a lot of people are just disappointed. They thought this game was going to be out by now, and it got delayed. And the biggest question that we saw in that time frame is we didn't see a release date. And I think that's the biggest question. You know, they went out there on stage and they said, Xbox is going to show you games for the next 12 months. And they haven't done that before. For the most part, they've always come out and they've just given us kind of a roadmap. Sometimes they show multiple games over and over again throughout the years. That's why I'm kind of okay with the 12 months as long as they stick with that. And, you know, we only see games that's in the next 12 months because in the next 12 months, I expect a good amount of gameplay. I expect to know what the game's going to be. So people expected, you know, we're going to get this game before the next E3. And I think that was the general concept of this. Most people expected some type of release date at the Video Game Awards. And, you know, we seen that Xbox was MIA at the Video Game Awards. So once again, question comes out. Where is Starfield? When's the release date for Starfield? We still haven't heard. And we're in 2023. Keep in mind that 12 months is coming up at the end of June. Well, the beginning of June. So once again, people was like, yo, this ain't out yet. What's going on? Redfall is one of the other big games that's coming out this year. I myself is still a little skeptical of Redfall, but I'm interested. I'm intrigued. And it's been internally delayed, which, you know, I will put in the description video below, which I actually made a video about this, that's saying it looking like Redfall is going to be a May game. And, you know, for those of you that don't know what the months of the year are, June is right after May. So I think that's the biggest question people have is like, look, if Redfall's coming out in May, when is Starfield coming out? We are in January right now, and we don't have a release date. They missed probably the biggest stage they possibly could have actually revealed the release date for Starfield and Redfall, and they weren't there in any way, shape, or form. So I do think that, you know, this criticism is valid, but that's where I leave it. The criticism is valued in asking where the release dates are. I don't think it's valid in assuming the game is going to get pushed back to 2024. I'm seeing people literally say that Starfield isn't going to come out till 2024. I would be very surprised if something like that happened. Here's what I think. I personally feel like we could see Starfield before or maybe a month after that 12 months. So it'll be 13 months. I get it. If it is the 13 months, then I can understand the criticism for that. You told us 12 months. You didn't give us a release date. You didn't give us a release date at the Video Game Awards, which is really where you should have put something like this. Where is it going to be at that point? You know, there's a lot of, you know, speculation. I'm pretty sure it's pretty true that we're going to get an Xbox event here in the next maybe month. And I think that's where they'll show the release date for Starfield. They'll show the release date for Redfall. They'll show everything that we need to know, including Forza. Because keep in mind, we still don't know anything about Forza. That's where we'll get all the information on that is. Right now, we're in January the 5th. No announcement for an event. Now, that's a little bit different too, where they could announce the event the week before it happens. I do feel like they should have announced it after the Video Game Awards to take a little bit of the energy out of them not being at the Video Game Awards, but I digress. I'm not going to assume I know how to run a multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar corporation. But here's my question to the people. Put it in the comment section below. If it were to come out in July, and I think there's a good chance that it could either come out in June, late June, early July. It could even come out before Redfall, which I don't know about that. We'll have to see. But if it does come out late June, early July, will that be an issue? I feel like if it doesn't skip the July time frame, it's okay if it is going to be in July. You know, as long as at the beginning of July, hell, at this point, as long as the game comes out and it's good, because that's all that matters in this. It could easily come out in July. Just don't go past that. I would prefer June, but if they need that little bit more time to make sure that they have a solid product, I'm okay with July. But it's at the end of the day, I mentioned it earlier, all of this is irrelevant as long as the game comes out and it's a solid experience. We can hear the worst rumors of a game, but when that game comes out and if it's a solid experience, people are going to completely forgive everything that's ever happened with the Starfield brand. I have my speculations of Starfield. I'll probably make a video based on what I personally want for Starfield in the future. So definitely subscribe to the channel if you want to see that in the future. But I can understand off the stuff we've seen, people are skeptical. But as long as Bethesda comes out and they make sure that game hits on every cylinder that it possibly can. Now, I'm not saying be bug-free, because I feel like when you build an expansive world like that, there's going to be a little bit of minor bugs, but it cannot be anything remote to Cyberpunk or anything similar to Fallout 76. It's got to be a pretty stable game for the most part. But that's my question to you guys, is would you guys care if it came out in early July, late June, or do you really think that you're going to hold Microsoft to that 12-month date that they gave you? And I don't blame you if you're going to hold them to that 12 months. I want to put that extremely clear. If you want to hold them to that 12 months, hold them to that, because they came out there and they said that. But I do feel like we got to understand that we are coming off of a pandemic, and for what they thought would have worked 6 months to a year ago, maybe something happened in development. Development's not an easy process, and I think I'm gonna come out on the limb and say I have a lot of hope for Starfield, and I think we'll be seeing it, you know, perhaps before the 12 months, because there's a little bit of stuff going out there that makes you feel like maybe it will come out before that 12 months is over. There is a website with on the Bethesda website that it says Starfield arrives exclusively on Xbox Series X and X and PC in the first half of 2023. Now, clearly, we don't know why this was made. This is probably some kind of placeholder when they actually go out there and do the pre-orders, because obviously there's going to be pre-order bonuses. There's going to be collection editions. They got to do stuff like this. So maybe this is just a placeholder and they don't really have a date yet. But it's interesting that they bring up that first half, and that's why I say wouldn't surprise me if it does come out before the Redfall game comes out. But, you know, that's just the video before, pretty much the video. I just want to, you know, come out here, chat with you guys. What do you guys feel about Starfield? Are you guys worried about it from what we've seen? Like I said, I don't blame you if you are. I feel like criticism there is valid. But what do you guys feel about Starfield? Do you think it's going to do well? Put it in the comment section below. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.